Welcome to RuralVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith, and I've got a property to show you. This one recently bought, and I'm excited because it's in a nice area, a really nice area, great place to raise family, have kids, and just run with it. They can play in the woods, play with the neighbors, play in the area. Easy to get to school, easy to get to shops, easy place to live. So let's take a look and see what we have. This is in Grass Valley, California. It's in Nevada County, California. It's kind of northeast of Sacramento or east of San Francisco, west of Lake Tahoe. So it's 3 acres. I'm asking $65,000. There's a couple neighboring houses around. It's a bunch of trees, and there's a buy now button on there, so you can put down $500 to hold the property, and we'll go start title work or start doing the paperwork to transfer it into your name. I've got title insurance on it that I can roll over to you on this particular property. So if we run it through the title company, you can get the title insurance on it. Otherwise, I can do deeds as well and save a couple bucks. But there's GPS coordinates on here. We could click on that in your phone to get driving directions. Click on it in the computer to get a map of where the property is located. We'll look at that here in a sec. I've got GPS coordinates of the the corners and things of the property. Got the legal description of the property in here. It's missing the elevation. I'll try to get that filled in. Zoning RA10. I think there's power in the neighborhood. This says none, but I think there's power. Roads, dirt, property taxes. It was $196. Terrain's flat. It's a little hill. I should say slight rolling hill or something. And it's coming from David Venture and a couple other companies to you. So that's the basics of the property. Let's dive into the location of this thing. This is 3 acres, and so I'm pulling up the maps. We'll see if these maps load well. So I just pulled the Google map, and let's put it up here in the screen more so it's in the middle. And let's get rid of this thing. So here's the pin on the map. Here's Bluegill Place. This is a Google map. Google's got the road going this way, but I think it's more built this way up to it. It's just not mapped right there. Microsoft had it mapped right. I'll show you some Microsoft data in a little bit. So here's Old Pond Lane. So if you come down Old Pond Lane and turn on Bluegill Place, you should be able to drive up to the property. There's easements on both sides. There's easement on the upper side of it too if you want to get in from that way. I don't think that way is built, but you have to build a driveway that way if you wanted to access it that way. But this bottom of the hill looks built. I think you can drive right into it. Let's look at topography, because there's a slight hill on this one. See if we can do 3D. So you can do this on your computer too. I'm just holding down the control button and in Google Chrome, and it goes 3D, and then you can pan around and you can see what kind of topography is going on. And it's there's a slight hill there. You can't see it so drastically on here, I guess, because it's not that much of a hill. You can see down here is the water. Here's a creek. Here's a pond. There's some ponds flowing over here. So you're not in the lowlands. You're not in the waterway. And there's water in the area. So water wells are probably easier than some places. They're probably not too deep if there's water in the area. I mean, there might be some geological something going on in between, but theoretically it shouldn't be that bad if there's water right over there. And all these neighboring houses figured out water and power, and I'm sure you can figure it out too. I think there's probably power lines running. Is that a cell tower? There's a big power line over here, but it's not on the property. There's probably smaller ones. This looks like more residential one running through the area as well. So let's go to directions. I pulled up how far it is to Grass Valley. Downtown Grass Valley is 9.7 miles if you take the 49, so it's just south on the 49. If you go the other way on the 49, it goes down to Sacramento eventually. And if you keep going, you get to San Francisco, which is, it's on the screen, San Francisco over here. And if you keep going out to 80, you go past Lake Tahoe, Reno, Salt Lake City, and beyond. think the 80 eventually goes to Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. So here it is. Here's the property. Here's the location of it. Just a short shot out of town. I pulled it up on Bing, some Microsoft data. Microsoft had Street View of the area. Google didn't have Street View of this one. Sometimes one's better than the other. In this case, Microsoft's got it covered. So this is Bluegill Lane here, and so this would be the road or the driveway into the property. This is what it's looking like whenever they did this picture. This is April of 2015. So there's some neighbors over here at the turnoff. Doesn't look like this road gets much of any traffic at all. You can see the trails going, but hardly anyone turns in here. Nice private driveway. See if we can look around a little bit more. So you get an idea of what kind of trees are in the area. This is pine trees. Mixed pine and deciduous trees. Some juniper bushes. Yeah, that would be your driveway headed back into the woods, into the property. Let's see if we back out a little bit. Okay, so this is the street view in here, and this is the turn into the property going down the Bluegill to the land. If you zoom in on it in this Google Maps, it looks like it might have been a springtime shot or something. So leaves are starting to pop, but they're not fully filled in. And this line keeps going up here. The road gets less and less the closer you get to the property. So you might have to do some work on it for the last little bit to get into the property. The houses on either side, the view in the woods. Pull up some lot lines. So here's the ponds again. There's some neighboring ponds, a couple neighboring ponds in the creek, and the Bluegill place. This is Google Maps data, so you can see the roads different. But on the Microsoft, it was over here, and it leads right up to the edge of this property. And there's easement on this side too, to get into it from either side of the property. There's a pond right there. So probably got power lines feeding this house, I'm guessing. Yeah, there's a power pole right in front of the house. So I don't know if they would stretch from there into your property, or how the power company would figure the best way in there, or if you need access across someone's property to get the lines in. But one of these, you could probably get power off of one of these. Otherwise, you got easements coming from this way. You might have to take it down one of these routes to get it to the property. Here's some lot lines of the area. This looks like the original property was probably this shape, and then it split off, so that's the easements are coming up this way from the original property, the parent property, whatever you want to call it. So I pulled up the market in Zillow, taking a look at this. There's lots of ways to look at the market, but that's for today. I'm just using Zillow. And I put Grass Valley, California in there. I put 2 acres and up. This is a 3-acre property, so I figure that's kind of comparable properties, not the 1-acre neighborhood lots, but the 2-acre and up properties. You get a little bit more room to play with, build a custom home, and maybe have a horse or something. Maybe have a couple horses. So the cheapest thing that comes up is this 5-acre lot. I was scratching my head. It's really 5 acres for $25,000, and wow, this is pretty neat. It's on a stream, and they show pictures of a little road in there. And so I gave him a call, and then I started reading this while I had him on the phone. It says you have to buy the adjacent 2 homes on 5 acres. There's 2 homes on the neighboring property. And so there's APN numbers, MLS. I didn't look up the MLS ID. It'd probably tell us how much the homes are going for. But It's like, why can't you just buy the $25,000 5 acres? And they said they won't sell it separate because there's no access. You can't get there. You'd have to build a bridge over the stream to get there, and it's just no access. Or you'd have to negotiate something with one of the neighboring landowners. So that's why it's 25 grand. It's not really usable land. I even pulled up those parcel numbers. I thought it was really nice that they put the parcel numbers in there. And it kind of looked like there's a little trail or something there, but yeah, there's one chunk. This is the piece that's 25,000 bucks, and it's on this stream. It goes, the border waggles along with the stream bed, and then there's the other side with the houses, house 1, house 2. So you got to buy the whole shooting match. You can't just buy half, and that's why that's the cheapest on the market. So that debunks that one. Unless you want the no access land for 25 grand, go talk to them. This one's been on the market for 33 days. It's 2.2 acres, and it's by the Alta Sierra School area, so it's not very far away from the property we're talking about. And it looks like a good hill overlooking the road, but it's probably a good candidate to go look at and compare to my property. Just looking at a picture like this, I was seeing a steep driveway coming in here, switchbacks of a driveway coming in here, and the angle is probably road noise. Cars go by. It's the right angle to get their sound magnified right up to your house. I might be wrong. It's a good price. Probably should go look at it. Next one, 7.28 acres, 39,000 bucks. This is a little further away. So I was looking at this, and I got the maps on it. Let's see if I can get the maps pulled up here somehow. Maybe here's a good shot. So I think down at towards the entrance, you're going behind some houses like this. It's kind of a flagpole lot, and then it goes up a hill. And so the meat of the property seems to all be on the hill. And I'm not sure where this picture's at. This would be like, you got to get off that road, back a ways, and then the hill. Here's a shot of the hill. So it's a bunch of hill. You get some acreage, but it's like the hillside back behind the houses that have already been built on the flatter land. Nobody seems to be building on the hill around this property. But you get some good views. The price is pretty cheap. What was that one? It's like 40 grand for 7 acres. There's another one that's been on the market for 29 days. Is the time I'm making this video. 49 grand. And this one is on Annie Drive. So this is by the school. This is by the Alta Sierra Elementary School. That's one you should go look at. Looks like some more hill action, but it doesn't seem to be as crazy hill as the previous one. There might be some flatter spots there to go work on. So that's probably a good one to look at. It's kind of got some switchback action to get in there. And then it kicks up to 59,000 bucks. This one's been on Zillow for 100 days. Let's see if I remember this one. This one is I think there's not a whole lot of space to work on. Like, I'm just going from pictures and off the cuff. I mean, you should go look at it if you're buying land in the area. But this is kind of tells me what's going on to the property. If they're putting the roads up like this, like, good luck finding a spot to place a house on. It just seems to be a lot of zigzaggy stuff up the hill to get in there. 2.78 acres. I think this is, the road trying to get in there. You can't build on the road because it looks like it's going to the neighbors. So you get above the road hill. You gotta try to fit it on the hill. If the fire guys will let you. And then it's 65 grand for, how big was this? I think this was a good size one. 8.5 acres. So 8.5 acres, and this one looks like it recently burned, or it recently burned whenever they took these pictures. I'm not sure how old the pictures are. Might have totally greened up and grown in since then. But looks like burned hillside. Should probably look at it. It's good acreage and stuff for the price. And then the prices skip up from there. They start going up and up. So I'm asking $65,000, and so this would be the competition in the market. I think are these no access and some hills. I think you get some hillside. I think my $65,000 is cheaper, more accessible, more usable to go build your custom home on than these other ones that are cheaper out there. And take a look at them. Take a look at mine. Go look at the others. See what you see. See what kind of decision you come up with. These other ones have been, the price just skips up. If you get into 70s, 80s, 100,000, you got more of them to choose from. But you could buy a lot more house by paying less for the land. A better chance of pulling it off if you go for the $65,000 one instead of the $100,000 one. Okay, so I went through those, and so I'll put a link down below to my website, ruralvacantland.com, where you can go read more about the property and take a tour of the property. Feel free to call, ask questions, and hope you love this one. I got a guy going out to take some pictures. I think in the next couple days I'll try to get some more actual pictures of the property up on the website. So maybe by the time you see this video, there'll be some fresh pictures of the property on the website as well. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com.